This is a practice that we are going to do only on the floor, doing some strengthening exercises, some mobility exercises, some really functional movement based yoga. For those who might have limited mobility or who aren't able to do some of the standing postures, things like that. So, we're going to try to do a full practice mostly laying on the ground, so that you can get down on the floor one time and not have to get up for the rest of the practice. So we'll start laying face down, and just take your time getting there. Throughout the practice, you may want something like a pillow or a blanket underneath various parts of your body. That's fine. I'll kind of talk about some of the options where you might use that. So before you come down, you might grab something like a pillow or two, or a blanket that you have, or even something like a towel, and then come all the way to lay face down on your mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, you can use a towel for that too. Slowly coming all the way down, stretching your legs out behind you, and resting your forehead down on your hands. Or you can turn your head to the side. Better if the neck can be neutral. I'm turning my head to the side so that you can hear me more easily. And take some time just to settle in here, kind of adjust your body. It might not be comfortable at first, so just kind of find the most comfortable place for you. If you're used to sitting all day, then this already will be kind of a stretch. It will be already kind of a back bend and a little bit of an opener for the hips. So give your body a little time to settle. Feel where your body is supported by the mat and by the floor. And then start to connect to your breath. And that just means feel your body breathing. Feel a full inhale and a full exhale. And when you're ready, start to make that breath a little bit more intentional. So nice full inhale, expanding through the lungs and the ribs. Nice slow exhale, letting that breath out with gravity to help. And feeling how when you breathe, laying face down on the floor, how the resistance of the floor causes you to move in different parts of your body that you might not normally move when you breathe. So if you're used to moving mostly in the front of your body, but the resistance of the floor here, you'll be able to expand more into the back, into the ribs. And maybe that already will help you to relieve a little bit of tension, feel a little bit more balanced. And now we're going to use the breath throughout our entire practice today. So go ahead and set an intention or a point of focus for yourself on the breath. Setting a goal for yourself to make the breath the priority as you move through this practice. Making choices that are good for you and your body. So I'll offer multiple levels for almost every movement that we do. And you're always welcome to choose whichever one is appropriate for you. Most of the movements will kind of repeat a few times. So the first time will be the most basic or the easiest. And then I'll give you the choice to progress. And you're always welcome to stay with the version that is best for you. We always want to be meeting ourselves where we are and being successful with what we can do instead of attempting something that's too much for our bodies and causing too much stress. So staying focused on your breath, please bring your hands alongside your chest, forehead resting down on the mat. Think about reaching back through your elbows drawing your shoulder blades down on your back. Press down into your feet. And then as you inhale, press down into your feet and activate through the back of your body. And then as you exhale, relax. Inhale, press down, activate, lengthen like you're stretching your head away from your spine. And exhale, relax. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale, stretch, lengthen, activate the toes and the legs. And exhale, relax. 1 more. And then take a little pause, rest, relax your arms, turn your head to one side. So we're going to do several movements like this where we're going to activate, and that might be as far as you go. If your body is needing some time to kind of understand how to coordinate a movement, you might just start with the first step, which is activating as if you could do something. And then we'll move on and we'll add on. So when you're ready, hands alongside your chest again, forehead to the mat. And maybe this time you can lift. So reach your elbows back, reach your shoulders back, activate your legs by pressing your feet down into the floor. And then as you inhale, lift your head and your shoulders. And as you exhale, lower everything back down into the mat. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Just a couple of inches off the ground each time. Let's do 2 more breaths. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to lower. Once more, trying to get the whole body to work together. So you're pressing down, lifting up, stretching forward, stretching back. And then lower down, relax your arms, rest. Full breaths. All right, so we're going to do 1 more round just like that. You can stick with the first version, just activating. You can stick with the second version, lifting up a little bit. Or we're going to add some complex movement here, moving the head side to side. So hands alongside the chest, forehead to the mat. Press down to lift up. Inhale. As you exhale, lower down. Turn your head to the side. Inhale, press down to lift up. Exhale, turn your head the other way. Continue just like this. Or if you want to make it even tougher, you can try lifting all or part of your hands as you lift, and then lower everything down as you exhale and turn your head to the side. Whole body working together, using your breath to guide you. Let's do 2 more like this. And then relax everything down. Rest your arms, rest your head, and breathe. And now we're going to do a little bit of cross-body coordination. I'm going to scoot down a little bit to give myself a little more room. So we're going to practice lifting opposite arm and opposite leg. So we'll do a few on one side and then switch sides. And part of our progression is to see if we can alternate sides. So again, we'll start just with the activation. So kind of rest in a position where you've got your legs a little bit wider, maybe arms a little bit wide. Your elbows can bend, or you can stretch your arms straight out. It's whatever is most comfortable to you. And then we'll practice activating as if we can lift. And again, I'm going to kind of turn my head to the side so my voice sounds a little bit better for the recording. But you have your forehead down on the mat. And as you inhale, think about reaching forward with one hand. Maybe it lifts up off the ground a little bit. Maybe you're just activating as if you can lift. And then exhale, lower that hand back down. Next arm, inhale, reach, lift. Exhale, lower. Now, one leg. Reach, activate, inhale. Exhale, relax. Other leg. Activate, inhale, reach. Exhale, lower down. So you can keep going like this, where you're doing one limb at a time, inhaling to activate and maybe lift, exhaling to lower down. Or we're going to try to coordinate opposite arm and opposite leg. So with your next inhale, activate and reach. One arm, opposite leg. Exhale, lower down. Other side, inhale, activate and reach. Exhale, lower down. And do like that a couple more times on each side, reaching alternate arm and leg. And again, if it works better for you, you can try, go ahead and rest for a moment. You can always try doing a few on one side. Activate, lower, activate, lower, activate, lower, and then go to the other side, activate, lower. So we're going to do 6 total. And you can just activate and reach like we've been doing, or you can try lifting. So when you're ready, with your next inhale, activate, reach, maybe lift, exhale, lower down. Keep going. Inhale, activate, reach, maybe lift. Exhale, lower down. And keep going with your breath. Full body coordinated movement. Nice and controlled. Last one. And then pause, rest, breathe. So we're going to do one more round of this one. And if that is plenty for you and your body to think about, then you just stick with that one. If you would like to take it up to another level, we'll actually come to the hands and knees. So if you can, press yourself up to a tabletop position. And you have all the same options here. So I'll kind of do all of them as we go through. We're going to do 6 breaths, 3 on each side. You can just reach out and keep your hand and your foot on the ground. Or you can reach out and maybe just lift your leg. Or maybe you reach out and lift opposite arm, opposite leg. And again, you can kind of do where you're lifting just one side. Or if you're able to, you alternate. Okay? So get yourself ready wherever you are, face down or tabletop position. Activate and lengthen before you even start. And then using your whole body all together as you're ready, inhale to reach out, opposite arm, opposite leg, maybe lift up. Exhale back to your neutral and keep going. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, lowering down. Last one. And then when you're ready, find a rest position. So just lay face down, or if it's comfortable, press up to your hands and knees, and then shift your hips all the way back towards your heels. And it might take a moment to kind of transition and get there. You might kind of shift forward and back a few times. And then as far back as your hips will rest is fine. Mine go all the way back because I'm really flexible. But you can have your hips lifted, that's okay. We want to rest down on our elbows. And if you can, rest your head all the way down. On your hands, on the floor, whatever is most comfortable for you. And take a few slow breaths. From here, we'll come onto our backs. So take your time. And slowly make your way all the way to lay on your back. Again, you might grab a pillow or something at first for this first one if laying on your back doesn't feel super neutral for you. Again, depending on what your posture is like and what your habits are like, it might not be comfortable to lay down on the ground. So feel free to grab a pillow. Maybe later you might want something for underneath your knees. So have all that stuff handy so you don't have to get up again. And then come to lay on your back and rest here for a moment. I like my knees bent, feet on the mat, hands resting on my body. But you just come to wherever you are most comfortable for a few moments and feel your body breathing here. Notice how it feels different to not have that resistance of the floor in the front of your body. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of activation, a little bit of opening through our arms and our shoulders, which will already do a little bit of core work, and then we're going to kind of progress up from there. So find your good neutral position. Like I said, for me, that is knees bent, feet on the mat. You might prefer to have your legs outstretched, but I think for this next movement, it's really nice to have the feet stabilized on the ground. I maybe should have said this sooner. Another option would be to lay down really close to the wall so that if you are stretching your legs out, you might have your feet pressing against the wall. That might be a way to find more stability if staying with your knees bent, feet on the mat is not very comfortable for you. So from here, find some stability. Activate as if you are standing nice and tall. So you're pressing down through your feet. You're lengthening up through the crown of the head. Shoulders are drifting down towards the floor, nice and open across the chest. Lots of space between the ears and the shoulders. Hips are sinking down towards the floor. So you're really feeling the pull of gravity on all the points of your body. And that's really stabilizing for you. So feel really steady in these places. And then reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling, keeping the shoulders down. Now, take a nice inhale here. And as you exhale, bring one hand down to the floor. For me, I like to bend an elbow and bring the elbow and the back of my hand to the floor. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to come down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to come down. So you might just reach your arm straight out to the side. You might bring it down in another way. What we're working on is coordinating the breath and the movement. So looking straight up at the ceiling, inhaling as you reach up, exhaling as you lower down. And again, you can always do one arm at a time here. So if doing both is difficult, you might do one arm for a few breaths and then switch for a few breaths rather than alternating. Let's do one more like this. And then slowly let your arms relax down. Take a little pause, breathe. And now we're going to coordinate our legs a little bit. So reach your arms straight up towards the ceiling, or you can leave the arms out of it for now if this is a little too much. And we're going to add our legs in. So same kind of slow idea where we're going to be alternating with the breath. So arms up if that's comfortable for you. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, lift one foot, and it might just be that you lift that heel up off the ground. So inhale to neutral, grounding. Exhale to lift. And again, you can do one foot a few times or you can alternate. We're going to do about 8 of these. So lifting the foot up any amount might just be the heel, might be the whole foot lifting a few inches. Inhale to neutral. Exhale to lift. Or if you're able to, you work towards bringing your shin parallel to the ground. So this is like the very furthest you have to go, is bringing the knee level with the hip, shin parallel to the floor. And for some of these more active movements, you might try exhaling through your mouth. We're going to do 2 more. That can help with the core activation. Go ahead and relax, breathe. So it can help with your core activation to breathe with that kind of active exhale, this kind of or shh sound. So breathe however you'll keep breathing, however works well for your body. So now we're going to coordinate arms and legs together. So you can just go back to the arm movement you were doing if you like. You can just do the foot movement, or you can reach your arms up overhead, and we're going to coordinate the movements together. So we'll inhale here. And then as we exhale, you'll lift your hands straight up as you lift the opposite heel or lift the opposite foot. And then inhale back to neutral. And again, you can keep going on this same side, about 4 times on each side, or you can alternate. So when you're ready, inhale, arms grounding, feet grounding. Exhale, lifting opposite. Inhaling to neutral. Exhaling to lift opposite. Gaze, your eyes are looking straight up at the ceiling. So see if you can coordinate this without looking at the body. Maybe 1 more on each side. And then lower down. Rest. Relax your arms. Relax your legs. Breathe slowly and fully. Notice how you feel. And then we'll finish out our session by focusing on some mobility for the hips and for the back. So first things first, draw one knee in towards your body. Doesn't really matter what you do with the other leg. I like to keep mine bent, but you can stretch yours out. And we're going to move this leg a little bit with the breath. So just hold on kind of gently. And inhale to let your arms straighten and the leg come away from your body a little bit. And as you exhale, bend your knee in closer. You can do this without holding onto the leg, but it's kind of nicer if you can so that it becomes a little more gentle. So inhale, knee comes away. Exhale, knee draws in. So you're sharing the effort between the arms and the leg. And the leg is really doing as little as you possibly can. A few more breaths like this, just this little in and out movement. And if you like, you could make it a little bit more of a circle. So you're kind of moving your knee around in a gentle circle. Maybe just one hand for that one. And then when you're ready, change legs. Same thing on the other side. Drawing the knee in, doing a few rounds of breath where you're kind of inhaling the knee away, exhaling the knee in. And then maybe taking the knee around in circles. And when you're ready, let that leg rest down. Bring your arms out like a T or like in what I might call cactus arms or goalpost arms. Knees bent, feet on the mat. And we're going to go side to side here. So inhale where you are. Exhale, lower the knees over towards one side, any amount. So that might just be a few inches where you kind of shift over towards one hip. And then inhale to the center. Exhale over the other way. Or your body might be comfortable with taking this further, especially as you kind of warm up into it. So keep going nice and slow with the breath, inhaling to the middle, exhaling to the side. Just as far as your body is comfortable. And if you're not comfortable or able to move the legs as much in this way, we're going to add in the head here in a second. So you can, if you want to, turn the head in the opposite direction of the knees and then come back to the middle and exhale, turn over the other way. So you're moving the knees and the head together, but in opposite directions. So as you inhale, knees and nose point up. As you exhale, knees and nose lower in opposite directions. And it's okay if you just do the legs or you just do the head, whatever is comfortable for you. The important part with all of these movements is that we're coordinating the breath and the movement, and that we're doing what's appropriate for our body each day. Learning how to work with your body and communicate with your body in a way that is kind and that is functional. Take your time, do another breath or two like this. And whenever you feel balanced in both directions, come back up to the middle and pause. We're going to do a little bit of rest and breathing time here. If it feels nice, you might bring the soles of your feet together with your knees open and take a little time to kind of let the hips open in this way. You might put some pillows or blankets underneath your legs to make this a little more supportive if it feels like this is kind of straining for your body. And you're also welcome to just stretch the legs out long. So any of that, totally acceptable, whatever feels nice for your body in this moment. You can rest your hands on the front of your hips. You can rest your hands down by your side. Take a few more moments to make sure your body feels neutral and supported. And then come back to your breath. Nice, slow, full breaths in and out through your nose or in and out through barely opened lips. And start to imagine that your breath can expand beyond your lungs. Imagine filling up your whole body as you inhale. Imagine emptying out your whole body as you exhale. And imagine that you fill up so much with air on your inhale that your body becomes a little bit lighter, almost floating up off the floor. And with each exhale, your body becomes a little bit heavier, almost sinking into the floor. And continue in this way. Inhale, expanding, a sense of lightness. Exhale, emptying, a sense of heaviness. So that with each breath, you become a little bit more balanced, encouraging opposite feelings in your body, along with a sense of complete relaxation. Now, if this breath is really nice for you, you can stay with it for a little while longer. Or as you start to relax, you can start to let the breath go and just let your breath come to a more natural, restful pace. Pausing here for a few moments to Just rest. Nothing at all that you have to do. Be present with what you're feeling in your body, what you're feeling in your mind and your emotions. Noticing, feeling, and maybe sending yourself a little bit of gratitude for choosing to use this time for yourself. And you can stay here longer if you like. Maybe take a little bit of extra time to rest. And when you're ready to transition and conclude your practice, make sure you do so slowly. Make sure you take a little bit of time to stretch, a little bit of time to feel into your body in a kind and compassionate way. Moving on to whatever comes next for you today, slowly. And I would just like to conclude our time together by expressing my gratitude to you and also by sharing the Sanskrit word namaste. And my favorite understanding of this word is kind of an acknowledgement of you as a whole person. You might translate it as an honoring of someone's spirit. So I'd like to thank you for joining me in practice today and recognize that the very highest and best part of me sees and honors the very highest and best part of you. And through that honoring, through that seeing, we are connected. So thank you for joining me where you are. Thank you for practicing with me and connecting with me. Namaste.